All right, we're giving everyone just a second to go ahead and get into the webinar. All right, well, welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Missouri students, sponsored by the Missouri Association for College Admission Counseling and by StriveScan. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. For those of you who are participants and attendees, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions in to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at moacac.org. And this presentation is being recorded, so if you need a refresher, it will be available within a week at that same website, moacac.org. I would now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Perfect. Welcome, everyone. We're thrilled you've joined us tonight. My name is Bianca Simboli. I'm one of the admission counselors at Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. I cover Missouri as part of my recruitment territory, as well as other parts of the Midwest and the Southeast and North Florida. I'm joined by my colleagues tonight from Eckerd, Florida Southern, and Florida Institute of Technology, who will introduce themselves momentarily. But tonight we are going to share with you some advantages of studying at the premier independent universities in Florida. So I'm going to turn it over to Anna to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna. I'm the admissions counselor at Florida Southern College. And along with Missouri, I also cover most of the Midwest, as well as Charlotte and Lee counties in Florida.
Hi, I'm Joy Walton. I'm from Florida Institute of Technology, Florida Tech, in Melbourne, Florida. My territory is Missouri and Texas, and anything going west of that area. So it's pretty extensive. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Bannon. I'm an admission counselor at Eckerd College in St. Pete, Florida, right on the Tampa Bay. I also graduated from Eckerd, so if you got any questions about student life, let me know. My territory is all over the place, West Coast a little bit, East Coast, so happy to be here.
Perfect. So before we get started, we just want to remind you, I know we can't see you, unfortunately, this evening. You can only see and hear us, but we do want to engage with you as much as possible. So we're here to answer your questions. So please utilize the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to send us questions throughout the session, whether general questions or they're directed towards each of our individual institutions. We'll be answering them either through the chat box or live at the end just before we finish up. And also we recommend being in speaker view so you can see which one of us is speaking to you. That's probably the best way to engage with us as well. So again, my name is Bianca Simboli. So to talk to you a little bit about studying in Florida, I think that's probably where we're coming from in terms of why our universities would be a good option for you. There's quite a few different universities in South Florida in terms of the smaller independent schools. I think the biggest thing for us is really the quality of education that you're going to get at our universities. For us, we all range in size and location, and we'll talk to you a little bit about our individual institutions shortly. But really the main focus for us is making sure that you're engaged with your faculty members. The majority of our classes at all of our institutions have few or no graduate teaching assistants. So for us, we really want you to be learning from the professionals in the industry. Many of our faculty members come from the fields that they are teaching in. They're not solely academics, so you really are getting a great experience, a professional experience at our institutions. There's a lot of great research opportunities even beginning in your freshman year at most of our institutions as well. So for those of you looking to engage in that regard, some of our institutions even offer stipends for research and for getting your research published. A global focus is also a really important part of what we all do. So while we're smaller institutions, a lot of our institutions also have a really diverse culture on campus. And we are also, we encourage our students to get off campus and travel abroad, do different international and even domestic research projects around the country. So that's another big focus for us. So those are some of the brief advantages of studying at our universities in Florida.
Joy, it looks like you're muted.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. At our universities, we do seem to offer most of the degrees in demand for the 21st century. Some of the things you can look at our list, anything from aeronautics, biology, business administration, computer science, education, health, nursing, physical therapy, psychology. We have something for everyone at all of our universities. We do experiential learning. So for example, those students who are in aviation, they are going not only up in the air, but they're also doing sim work in the simulator to give them different opportunities for different weather situations and things of that nature. Also at our universities, we all strive and stress internships and co-op opportunities. Okay, those co-op opportunities also afford you additional hands-on experience as well as networking opportunities. And it's a great way to check out companies you might be thinking about working for in the future.
We are proud that a combined 92% of our students are employed or serving in the military or continuing their education at the graduate, professional, or doctoral level within 1 year of graduation. And as independent schools in the state of Florida, we are dedicated to making your education affordable for students. So while affordability may not necessarily be the thing that comes to your mind when you hear the words independent or private school, all of our schools offer scholarships and financial aid opportunities that help make affordability a reality for you and your family. Additionally, I mean, most of the students that graduates from our institutions earn their bachelor's degree in 4 years or less, and that allows you to spend less on your education too. So recent data does show that students nationwide are graduating from college on 5 to 6 years on average, and this can end up costing you 40% more on your education, and that's just not a financial burden that we want to put on our students. So much so that we do award over $200 million in scholarships and grants. That was just the combined number last year.
And another really big selling point for us is the fact that we are in Florida. So you'll notice throughout the presentation that a considerable portion of our students come from all over the world and all over the country. And a big part of that reason is because Florida is an amazing place to live. Of course, we focus on quality education in all of our own unique ways. But Florida is also an amazing place for future employment and grad school after college. So we're 5th in the nation as a state for high-tech employment, and there's also a lot of Fortune 500 companies in Florida. It also has a really low cost of living, so whether you're on campus, off campus, or post-college, it's an excellent place to settle. And also average yearly temperature about 80 degrees every day, sunshine state, so hard to say no to the weather in Florida. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. Again, my name is Sam, and I'm an admission counselor at Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, Florida. We're right on the Tampa Bay, south of Tampa, and the campus itself, which is pretty much right in the middle of your screen, is right on the mouth of the Boca Ciega Bay, which is a smaller bay within the Tampa Bay. As you can see, surrounded on 3 sides by water, right in the middle of the St. Pete community, so we're very close with our surrounding neighbors, but we are a very residential campus, which you'll see in just a moment. So real quick, I just wanted to walk you through some of our demographics. We do represent almost every state and a whole bunch of countries from all over the world. The average college student right now in the US travels 200, 250 miles to come to college, but the average Eckerd student travels about 1,009 miles from home to Eckerd. And that for us just shows that Eckerd is a little bit, the average Eckerd student is a little bit more adventurous. And the nice thing is when you show up, as you can see here from our map, everyone is kind of in the same boat. So you don't have to be worried about showing up to a place where a lot of people are familiar with the area, because at the end of the day, most people are not familiar with the area, which is part of the adventure. So one of our highlights is our 414 academic calendar. A number of different schools use trimesters or semesters or a different system, but we like to emphasize the fact that as an Eckerd student with one major, if you're taking 4 courses each regular semester, you're going to get a bachelor's degree in 4 years. Of course, you can always tack on extra courses, and that 1 in between that 414 means that indicates our winter term in the month of January. So you're taking 4 courses in the fall, 1 course in the winter term in January, and 4 courses in the spring. The winter term can be international. You can study abroad, but you can also take courses on campus if you'd like. But the best part about it is coming from high school, especially a lot of people have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 classes. But at any given time, you're only required to be taking 4 as a full-time student, and you can also take less if you don't need to be taking as many. Another highlight for us is our autumn term. This is basically our 3-week intensive orientation period. So essentially you're here for 3 weeks before most of the other students show up. Outside of some resident advisors and some other student leaders, it's exclusively first-year students on campus. So during this time, you get an entire semester's worth of coursework in 3 weeks by taking 1 course, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. And as a student incoming, you basically get to pick from a list of about 25 courses that are non-major specific. So these can be all over the place, from breaking the US oil addiction to marine science courses and all other kinds of interdisciplinary courses. And so basically the professor who teaches this course will be your faculty mentor throughout your first year at Eckerd. And then once you decide on your major, which isn't required until the end of your sophomore year, you'll be assigned a faculty mentor within your field. So you can see here, these are all of our majors and minors. Anything with a little star is available as a minor, but you can always combine and interchange. And of course, you can always design your own major if that's something you're interested in. We're most known for our marine science program, marine geophysics, marine bio, all over the place with that. But we also have a number of other really diverse liberal arts and sciences offerings. So we're most known for marine science, like I said, but we also have a lot of people who study environmental studies or environmental science. And one of our most popular majors is actually one of our newest majors, which is animal studies. And this is a less biology focused, more cognitive psych, behavioral psych focused major. And so, like I said, it's one of our newest, but it is already one of our top 5 most popular. And of course, another really big part of the Eckerd and college experience in general is student life. We're a highly residential campus. Almost 90% of our students live on campus for all 4 years. And we're also the pet friendliest campus in the entire United States. So if you want to have your dog, cat, lizard, bird, whatever you want, you can always bring your pet. And one of my favorite parts of the student experience is a week before our actual graduation, there's a little pet graduation, which is super cute. Everyone gets their own little diplomas and hats, and their president gives a commencement address and everything. So it's adorable, and student life is a huge highlight. In addition to this private beach, which you saw that little dog Riley on, we also have another big highlight of our residential experience, which is our waterfront program, where you can rent out kayaks and paddleboards and sailboats. And the best part about it is that you can use it 7 days a week. You can go wakeboarding, water skiing, all kinds of stuff. So down to the nitty gritty here, the application requirements, relatively standard. One thing we do like to highlight right now is that we are going test optional. We understand a lot of people have missed their tests or missed the opportunity to take a test again because of the pandemic. And in addition to that, we also just take a completely holistic approach to the application reading process. So whether or not you want to submit your test scores is completely up to you. We do want to let you know that in terms of our merit-based financial aid, we do consider test scores if you submit them, but not submitting your test scores won't hurt you. We just look at your GPA, grades, course rigor, and other things like that. If you apply before December 1st, we waive your $40 application fee. And if you apply by November 15th, that's our early action deadline, not early decision, which is the binding one. We have the non-binding one, early action, and you're guaranteed to get your decision by the 15th of December if you apply by then. And we're also really proud to be in Lauren Pope's book called Colleges That Change Lives. So our holistic application reading process, we really want to get to know you as a person and as a student, just like our professors do. So if you're interested in learning more about the CTCL schools or Eckerd in general, definitely pick up this book. And with that, I'll move on to the FIT. Florida Southern.
Hello again. Like I mentioned earlier, my name is Anna. So just to get started with some basic information about Florida Southern, we're located right in between Tampa and Orlando in Lakeland, Florida, and we were founded in 1883, which makes us one of the oldest private colleges in the state of Florida. In terms of total students, we're home to about 3,500 total students, 60% of which are from the state of Florida and about 40% are from out of state, representing nearly all 50 states and 50 foreign countries as well. Here at Florida Southern, we have over 70 programs of study as well as 16 pre-professional tracks. And our most popular majors are biology and marine biology, nursing, business, music, theater, and exercise science. We're a liberal arts college at our core, so you're going to get a well-rounded degree no matter what you major in. And regardless of what you major in, we do emphasize engaged and experiential learning, kind of like we talked about earlier in the program. And this just basically means that you'll be an active participant in your classroom. So we really believe in the power of learning by doing and immersing our students in the field as soon as possible. And we're able to offer this engaged learning experience in part because of our small class size. So the average class size is about 18 students and our student faculty ratio is 14:1, and all of our classes are taught by professors themselves. So you're never going to have graduate students leaving those courses. And this just ensures that you're learning from experts in your field at all times. Kind of as an extension of our engaged learning experience, we do offer these 3 guarantees. And these guarantees are available to our students regardless of major. And these guarantees are to study abroad, do a professional internship, and graduate in 4 years or less. So the first guarantee that I'd like to highlight is to study abroad. And so we guarantee this through a program called the Junior Journey, which is a 7 to 10 day trip over school breaks in either your junior or senior year. You go with a professor, so there is some kind of academic component to it, and you do get course credit. But the best part about these trips is that they are at little to no additional cost to our students. And there are both domestic and international options, and you can go on one that isn't affiliated with your major since they don't take any time away from your classes. We also guarantee internships to all of our students regardless of major. And this is super important just because 95% of employers are looking for new hires with experience, and an internship allows you to be a competitive candidate once you enter the job market. And students have the opportunity and the option to do internships locally during the school year, or you can go closer to home to do internships during school breaks. That last guarantee is to graduate in 4 years or less. This kind of sounds, self-explanatory. Of course, a 4-year degree should take 4 years. And we're just able to really guarantee this because of really everything that I've already shared. Students are also paired with an academic advisor in their field of study as soon as they're on campus. And so you meet with your academic advisor several times per year to make sure that you're on track for graduation. We're also very transfer credit friendly, so you may be able to come to college with some college credits already under your belt. And to kind of summarize everything that I've shared so far, all of these academic opportunities are really important because they translate into post-graduation success. And so 97% of our students report achieving their post-graduation goals within 1 year of graduating from Florida Southern. And about a third of our students go on to a graduate or professional program, and the remaining 2/3 enter the competitive job market. While academics and outcomes are, obviously a really important part of your college experience, we also want to kind of highlight student life because Florida Southern prides itself on being a true campus community. So students are required to live on campus for all 4 years, meaning that you're guaranteed to have housing for all 4 years. We have 16 housing options, including on-campus dorms, as well as apartment complexes near campus that are set aside for upperclassmen. Aside from housing, we do have 20 NCAA Division II athletic teams, and there's also several different opportunities to participate in sports at the club and the intramural level as well. We also have over 100 student clubs and organizations ranging anywhere from Greek life and campus ministries to special interest clubs and organizations like our CAT club. So basically there are tons of ways to get involved, connect, and show your school spirit as well. So now that I've kind of shared a little bit about Florida Southern, let's talk about how to officially become a MOAC, and that is the snake, not the shoe. So first and foremost, it's 100% totally free to apply regardless of how you do so. Our application is available on our website as well as Common Application and Coalition. In addition to the application, we also need your high school transcript, a letter of recommendation from a teacher or a counselor, and a personal statement as well. We have adopted a test optional policy this year, so you can either submit your test scores or you can provide an additional writing sample. And you don't have to submit everything at once. You can submit your application and then get those supplemental materials one at a time after that. Once we receive all of your documents, we are on rolling admissions, so you'll receive our decision within 3 to 6 weeks. And finally, I know that the cost of college can be overwhelming, so every application is automatically considered for an academic scholarship. And we strongly encourage all of the students to apply to the FAFSA or file the FAFSA beginning on October 1st so that you can be considered for federal, state, and additional aid as well. Some of our departments on campus also offer specific scholarships based on audition, portfolio review, interview, or athletic recruitment. And we also accept outside scholarships and college savings plans. So this just means that there are tons of ways that you can earn financial aid from a variety of sources. And with that, I will hand it over to Florida Tech. You're muted again, Joy.
Hello again. This is Joy from Florida Tech in Melbourne, Florida. Just a few fun facts about our university. Our university was founded by engineers from NASA. So we have a very strong relationship with NASA. For our students who are in our STEM majors, it's not at all unusual for them to have professors who are also astronauts. Our students are coming from all 50 states and about 100 nations. Currently, we have 182 languages spoken on our campus. We have a student body of roughly 6,000, about 3,500 undergrads, about 2,500 grad students. And at our university, you can get anything from your bachelor's degree right through to your PhD. We have 4 colleges here on campus: College of Aeronautics, College of Business, College of Engineering and Science, and a College of Science of Psychology and Liberal Arts. I too am an alumni from Florida Tech. I have my bachelor's as well as my master's from here. Some of the things that I would want you to know: we are a Tier 1 national doctoral granting research university. We are one of the only STEM university in the state of Florida, and we're in the top 24 colleges and universities within the country. We do have co-op and internship opportunities for our students. Co-op opportunities are more or less regulated to our junior and seniors who have maintained a GPA of at least 3.5 consistently. Those opportunities allow them to be on campus one semester, the following semester they're working. Those opportunities take them anywhere to NASA, GE, Harris Corporation, Lockheed Martin, large organizations. When I say they're working, they're part of real research teams. You're not just getting coffee and lunch for everybody. You're actually working. It's a great networking opportunity. Equally, it's a great opportunity to gain additional skills that you might have not been afforded to on campus. For those students who aren't doing the co-op program, all students end up doing at least an internship. Internships you can do during your senior and or junior year, or some do it over the summer. I myself did mine over a summer. That way I wasn't having to balance other classes along with it. We do have a few programs that are very specific. We have a fast track program for business where you can get your business degree within 3 years. We have a 4-year plan for your master's and MBA program. And we also have a 5-year plan for your Bachelor of Science and MBA within 5 years' time. One of the things that is really outstanding about our university, as I mentioned, we are a STEM university, and that brings us to our student design and research. And the students who are in engineering and science in their senior year, they do a senior design project. The project takes them all year to do it as a culmination of their 4 years of work here. In April, we do have an exhibition, and all the projects are on display. It is fantastic. It's outstanding, the things that people are coming up with. The one thing I will tell you, the caveat to that is this particular project holds so much weight. If you were an A student all the way through and your project fails to work, you will not graduate. That's how important the senior design project is for our engineering and science students. When it comes to fun things on campus, we are an NCAA Division II school, so we do have all the usual suspects for athletics. In addition, because we're all here in Florida, it's not at all unusual to see people playing softball or volleyball on the green. We do have tennis courts on campus, as well as 2 Olympic-sized pools, and we're about 3 to 5 miles in from the Atlantic. For those who aren't as athletic, we do have other opportunities for enjoyment. We have theater, we have band, we have a formal orchestra, we have over 100 clubs on campus. There's something for everyone to do here. We also have an art gallery, we have esports. Last year we had FIT's Got Talent, which was participatory among professors as well as students, which was quite fun. So again, we really try to make sure there's something a little bit for everybody to do. Most importantly, I want you to know, if you come to FIT, you're not going to be sitting in your room watching paint dry, trust me. Some things about admissions with us. Again, I am the admissions counselor here, and what I'll need from you are going to be the following documents: a completed application. We do take the common application, or you can go right onto our website, fit.edu. You can fill out an application. Both are free. Either one will do. Neither one holds more weight over the other. I'm also going to need your most recent completed high school transcript, official SAT and or ACT scores. Currently in this conversation, we are not test optional at this time. So we do need those test scores and 1 letter of recommendation. If you're an international student, you will need to submit your English proficiency exam scores as well. Another thing with our university, who gets admitted here? We admit about 60% of those applications. The average GPA is about 3.9, and the mid-range SAT anywhere between 1160 to 1350, and our SATs anywhere from 25 to 31 composite. That being said, we are very holistic. We're looking at everything. So we want to make sure that you're going to be a good fit for FIT and that FIT is a good fit for you. Excuse me, please. Once it's time for graduation, when May comes around, what are we going to do? These are some of the areas that our graduates are currently working in. They're working at American Airlines, Boeing, the FBI for psychology, Intel, Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, NASA, Northrop Grumman, just to name a few. We're on the Space Coast. Tons and tons of corporations are moving in our area. So this is really a good time, especially for those STEM majors and particularly. Many opportunities are available for our graduates here. When it comes to financial aid, we have a lot of different ways for you to offset your costs. Don't think, you're the only person asking for aid. Everyone is asking for aid. Just as my colleagues have said, I can't emphasize enough. You want to make sure October 1, you and your family are completing the FAFSA. About 94% of our students are receiving scholarships and grants. About 97% are receiving some sort of financial aid. All right. We do have scholarships. We have academic-based scholarships as well as needs-based scholarships. We do have a few, just to name a few of our specialized scholarships. We have scholarships for those who are in FIRST and VEX robotics. If you're a Gold Leaf Girl Scout or an Eagle Scout, just to name a few. We have several others. So if you have something that you want to talk about, will you accept this? Is this a possible scholarship? Please reach out to me and let's talk about it. Thank you. Packaging, all packages, of course, I want you to know once you apply to our university, I invite you to join us. Everything leaves me and goes to financial aid. All of our packages are individually packaged so that you're getting the best package that is for you. We just don't do it in a lump sum. So we have Panther Fund scholarships and grants. We do have Florida Bright Futures for those students who are Florida residents. We have Florida State grants again. We have athletic scholarships, ROTC, 9/11, GI Bill, Yellow Ribbon grants, as well as federal and self-help programs as well. Thank you.
Perfect. So I'm the last to go here. So again, for those of you that are in the session and have some questions, feel free to send those over and we'll answer them in just a few moments. But I'm here to talk to you about Lynn University. I'm the furthest south in Florida, so we are actually located in South Florida. So if you're not super familiar with the location, Boca Raton is about an hour north of Miami on the East Coast. We're about 3 miles from the ocean. We are also sandwiched between Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach. So for those of you flying into the area, we're near 3 major airports. So we're in a really accessible location in South Florida. It's also one of the fastest growing metro areas in the US. So for students who are looking for jobs and internships, your opportunities are quite endless. One thing that's really nice about our campus location at Lynn is our students take advantage of things that are both on and off campus. There's quite a bit to do in the surrounding area in addition to all of the activities, academics that we have going on right in Boca. We do have some local transportation as well, some public transportation that can get you to certain areas if you don't have a car with you. So it's quite easy to access all of these different places in our region. You can skip to the next slide. One thing that we do focus on at Lynn University is a personalized, innovative, and global educational experience for our students. So in talking about the global experience, I know I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we are ranked as the topmost international school in the region for our size. And we are in the top 10 in the nation. So we have nearly 3,000 undergraduate students. Our students come from 47 different states and 100 different countries. So you're going to meet students from all over the world on our campus. It really offers a unique perspective in our classrooms. To give you a little bit of insight as to what that looks like, I always love talking about our admission staff at Lynn. We have a really organic, diverse group of staff members in our admission office, and about half of them have studied at Lynn. So they've come, my direct bosses from Argentina. We have someone from Rome, South Africa is where our VP is from, and Spain, El Salvador. I'm from New Hampshire, so I think that's pretty cool too. But we have a really diverse mix even in our office. So I think it reflects the diversity that we have on campus and what you're going to have in your classroom setting. We do focus on that personalized experience at Lynn. Our student to faculty ratio is 18:1. Generally, you won't see classes above 25. 30 is kind of the limit for us. But it's also really common for you to have classes as few as 10 students. Like the rest of the institutions here, we want you to get to know your faculty members, but our faculty really play an imperative role at Lynn in terms of helping you find internship and job opportunities in addition to our career services. About 35% of our students are from the state of Florida, and another 20% are international. So the remaining percentage makes up our domestic student body. Our next biggest population is from the Northeast, and then it spreads out across the country. So we're actually seeing a growing number of students from the Midwest coming to Lynn, which is really exciting for us. As I mentioned, I'm the counselor from Missouri, and we brought, I think, in our largest class of students from Missouri last year as well. So it's really exciting for us to be seeing students coming from across the country. So in addition to that personalized and global experience that we have on campus, we're also an innovative university. We're very forward thinking, we're flexible, we're adaptable, we're changing with the new generation of students and the way that we're teaching. So while we do technically fall into the liberal arts, small liberal arts category of colleges, we teach a little bit differently at Lynn, and I'll talk a little bit about our unique curriculum momentarily. But one thing that we have done and implemented at the university is our iPad-powered learning program. So we've been recognized by Apple for 4 consecutive years now as an Apple Distinguished School, based on our integration of the iPad into our curriculum. So when students get to campus as part of your tuition and fees cost, every student gets an iPad. They're the awesome iPad Pros, so they're nice and big. You can actually use them in place of your laptop. You'll get the keyboard and the pencil with it. So a lot of our students are just working off of their iPads. Another really great piece of this is that our faculty is also engaged with the iPad. So when you go into class, instead of switching from thumb drives or whatever it is that you use now, our students are just airplaying from their iPad to present their presentations or to share different articles that they might have come across. So it's a really interactive way to engage in the classroom. In addition to that, going off of our unique curriculum that we do have, which is known as the dialogues, our faculty have also designed their own texts for the classroom. So we don't have the traditional textbook curriculum that you would see at most institutions. We've really revamped like the way that we're teaching students, the kind of material that you're getting in the classroom and what you're discussing in the classroom as well. So our texts are going to be downloaded right through your iPad. A lot of them are interactive and have different study tools that you can utilize. So it's quite engaging. Additionally, it will save you up to about 90% of your textbook costs because it will be free for you to download the majority of your textbooks through the iPad. So it's a really exciting thing that we're doing at Lynn that we've been doing for quite some time now. Another thing that we have implemented in recent years is our 3-year accelerated bachelor's degree option. So you can see a list of all of our majors there, and you can also find out more information about the curriculum on our website if you go to our academics page. But we have a really unique, really interesting variety of majors. We have 6 colleges across the institution, which include Aeronautics College, our College of Arts and Sciences, Business, Communication and Design, Education, and we also have a Conservatory of Music. So we do a little bit of everything at Lynn. The majority of our majors can be completed in 3 years. All of them except our Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees, our conservatory programs, and our Education College. So within the other 3 schools, you can do your degree in 3 years, which will save you about a full year of tuition, room and board. Nearly 25% of our students are actually enrolled in our 3-year accelerated bachelor's option, and you can choose that after you start at Lynn. So it's not something that you have to decide anytime soon. Once you get started, you can kind of feel things out and then decide if it's a good option for you as you move through your program. And then going back to what I was talking about, the dialogues, this is something that makes Lynn really unique. As I mentioned, our faculty designed our curriculum about 10 years ago. They realized what we were doing, and the traditional liberal arts curriculum really wasn't preparing students for what they needed after they graduated. So while all of our majors are kind of focused in professional studies, our dialogue, our core curriculum, what's known as that general education curriculum, is really an applicable study of liberal arts concepts. So rather than having your traditional English, math, science, social science core, our students are taking classes across these 5 sectors and really applying those skills and those liberal arts concepts to their majors, their careers, and just life in general. So our students will take a personal finance course, or if you're maybe in a business major, you're going to take a statistics-based math class as opposed to calculus, or students can take, if you're in some other science-based courses, a course on climate change. So there's a lot of really interesting courses that you can take that aren't that traditional liberal arts curriculum. And the reason that we designed it like this is to make sure that we're building on your presentation, critical thinking, communication skills. So we have a very heavy reading, writing, and presenting curriculum at Lynn. So across all of our core classes, you're going to be building those skills. Which is really important, and we've seen some really great success as students have gone off and gone through interviews and into their jobs. In addition to that, we have a bunch of clubs and organizations as well on campus. Study abroad opportunities. We're a Division II nationally ranked athletic department. So we've won 25 national titles. So we have a really strong athletics program, 19 different athletics teams. So there's quite a bit to do on campus as well. To apply to Lynn, we take the common application, and we also have our own application on our website. So you can fill out either. We are a test optional school, and we have been for quite some time. So again, for us, we have a very holistic review process when it comes to reviewing your application. We really want to get to know you as a student. You're going to submit an essay and a letter of recommendation along with your application. And that's really important for us. And we do pay close attention to those documents in addition to your academics. On average, our students have come in with about a 3.3 GPA. about an 1150 SAT, and about a 23 ACT if they do submit their test scores. We have no preference. It's really up to you how you want to apply. Our early action deadline is November 15th. So keep that in mind, and then we're rolling admission through March 1st thereafter. Some of our programs, our specialty programs do have some other deadlines, so be sure to connect with us later so we can let you know about those. And I highly recommend that you follow our social media pages. The Instagram page is my favorite. It highlights our students all the time and what we have going on campus. It's super interactive. So I would definitely recommend following our Instagram page for more information. So with that, I'm wrapping up here. So all of our contact information is right here, and we'll leave this up for a few minutes so you can take a screenshot of that, connect with us. All of us are your admission counselors for the area, so we want to get to know you and connect with you. We're also all hosting visit opportunities right now, both in person and virtually. So keep that in mind. All of our visit links are also right here on the screen for you. We do have a couple of questions that came in, so we'll answer those quickly before we wrap up. But otherwise, make sure you check out what we have going on campus. So with that, one of the questions that I received is about the test optional policies. So for those of us that are test optional, is it going to impact my application at all if I choose not to submit my test scores? So for us at Lynn, like I said, we've been test optional for a while, so it won't impact us. But Anna and Sam, I know you guys have recently gone test optional, so if you want to talk briefly about that.
Cool, I can go first. Yeah, at Florida Southern, it's not going to impact your chances of admission either way, and you'll be considered for a scholarship as well either way. You just have to submit an additional essay if you apply test optional. We're pretty flexible with the policy, so you can go back and forth if you do decide to take the test later.
We're pretty much in the same boat. We do like to emphasize that if you choose to not submit your test scores, it's not going to impact your chances. We don't require any supplemental writing pieces or anything in lieu of test scores. We're just going to be looking more intently at your course rigor and your GPA. And if you do submit your test scores, it's going to be considered for your merit-based financial aid. But if you don't, we'll just take other things into consideration. It doesn't affect your chances.
Cool. Another question too is about being undecided. So there's a lot of interesting majors that we all offer, but can students come in undecided to your institutions?
I'll go first. So technically at Eckerd, every student that comes in is an undecided student. You don't declare your major right away. You have until the end of your sophomore year, but most people like to do it by the end of their first year at Eckerd because it gives you time to get all your coursework out of the way. But technically speaking, everyone who comes into Eckerd is undecided or undeclared. So you have a solid window to make up your mind and change your mind. Because as I'm sure you've heard, the average college student changes their major a lot.
With our university, actually, you go directly into your major. The one exception where that could be changed is in engineering. Because the umbrella for engineering is so vast, we will allow students, they can just come in for quote unquote general engineering for their first year. But at the end of that first year, they have to declare which area of engineering they're going into. Otherwise, all of our students are going directly into your major from day one.
Same here at Florida Southern, but you do have the option to go undecided, and you have until your sophomore year to pick a major. And because we get you involved in your major as soon as possible, you have plenty of time to kind of figure out, oh, I don't actually like this, and you can pivot from there pretty easily.
Yeah, and we also, we don't necessarily encourage students to come in undecided, but I don't know if that's the right word for it, but we definitely have a lot of students that do, and we think it's a really great opportunity actually to come in undecided to Lynn. We allow students to take classes in their first semester in different areas and in different concentrations alongside their core curriculum. So you can kind of get your feet wet at Lynn as well if you come in undecided. And another question that we got, this will be our last question for the night. Do your schools accommodate the Disney College program? So I know that we have students that have gone through that, that program at Lynn, so that's something you'll work with with our career service department. I don't know about everyone else.
Same at Florida Southern.
Same with us at FIT.
Same deal. Case by case basis, but we'd like to accommodate everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So for those of you that still have some more questions, again, feel free to reach out. I think we're at time for the evening, so we're so happy to have been able to chat with you this evening. Best of luck through the application process. And again, please connect with us soon.
Awesome, thank you all. Just a quick reminder that you can sign up for more sessions at moacac.org, and a recording will be available. There will also be a quick survey. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your evening.